Good evening and welcome to One Ice Arena for the second half of our doubleheader here on a Monday night. It's the top-seeded 𝗬𝗃 Netanya taking on the now eliminated 𝗬𝗃 Tel Aviv. I think unfortunately this is the first game that really doesn't mean much in the standings, but 𝗬𝗃 Netanya looking to head into the playoffs red hot. They'll face a 𝗬𝗃 Tel Aviv bench that is extremely short-handed tonight. My name is Ben Baruch alongside my broadcast partner Jacob Schlussel, and we're happy to have you with us. As we mentioned, Tel Aviv playing with a short bench. 𝗵𝗃 unavailable tonight. You'll see his jersey flying around the ice, but that is actually Jacob Saunders, who normally plays for Haifa. Tel Aviv, I believe we counted about 9 or 10 players available tonight, so Saunders definitely necessary.
Absolutely, they're only going to be 2 lines deep. Expect to see Mike Ginello, their captain. This is going to be his last game of the season. After tonight, he goes home for the Maccabi USA training camp, where he will be flying back here only a week later to compete in the Maccabi games. I'll expect to see him play almost the entire game tonight, and that's going to be a tall task up against the undefeated 8-0 𝗬𝗃 Netanya, who look pretty much unbeatable so far. Short staff Tel Aviv are going to have a massive challenge of even coming close to beating them tonight.
We'll run through our goalie matchups here this evening. It's Daniel Kreiner for 𝗬𝗃 Tel Aviv coming into this one with a 2-6-1 record, and on the other side, it's Daniel Elisayev. 4-0 record for him, a 2.75 goals against average, and an .859 save percentage for him. As we get set to go, it's Mike Ginello and David Levin about to take this opening face-off, and I could count only 6 extra players available for 𝗬𝗃 Tel Aviv in addition to the 5 they have out on the ice. 𝗬𝗃 Netanya getting 𝗫𝗂𝗃 back after being injured last week against Toulon. They are without Mike Levin, who was suspended for his actions in that game. As here's a wrap chance by Spector, it's blocked away. David Levin now cuts to the middle. He shoots, he scores! David Levin wastes no time here this evening. It's 1-0 Netanya.
Only 35 seconds in, we see why David Levin has the most points in this league. He picks up the puck almost at the blue line, dances around the 2 Tel Aviv forwards and snipes it top corner over the glove of Daniel Kreiner. And we're only 35 seconds in, but we're going to see a lot more goals after this. The short staff Tel Aviv are behind and down 1 early in this game.
It's David Levin's 14th goal and Netanya's 9th game of the season. Leads this league with 29 points. Talking about lineups before that goal, Netanya also without number 19, Viktor Vorobyov. That is Ori Coffrey tonight, as here is Kapulkin dancing to the backhand, and his shot was blocked in front. Besides that, it's a pretty full bench for 𝗬𝗃 Netanya. Can't say the same about 𝗬𝗃 Tel Aviv, though. Solfeder turns this one over to Aviv Milner. He backs it up for Yoav Mar. Trying to go through center. It's gloved down by Ethan Bloom. He moves in, stops up in the circle, tries to get around Yoav Mar, but put the stick flat on the ice and stopped the chance. Here's Aviv Milner back the other way. Milner feeds one out in front, intended for Artur Litterman, couldn't get it on. Milner the follow-up shot into the glove of Daniel Kreiner.
Very early, we see the display and the speed of Aviv Milner coming along, cutting through the middle of the ice and tried to slide one to the center, but then he picked the puck back up and a good shot on net. I expect him to attack all night and really be a force. After being injured for some time, he's back and getting healthy for the playoffs.
Saunders threw that one right through the slot. Kreiner had to be careful with it, and it's Ribe stopping and starting at his own end of the ice. Nearly a turnover there to Kreimerman. The neutral zone 𝗵𝗁 tries to get it ahead. Big hit there put on by 𝗂𝗄𝗄. And possession the other way for 𝗬𝗏 Netanya. Aronovich stood up by Ungerman. Puck on the near wall handled by Saunders. He gets it ahead to Bloom, and he'll get it deep. Defenseman Kreimerman back to handle it in his own end. He sends it ahead to Guy Aronovich. He could skate really fast. Had to turn back away from Ungerman. Now he gives it to 𝗂𝗄𝗄. 𝗂𝗄𝗄 wearing number 19 tonight. He left it for Ilya Spector. Spector chips it ahead, intended for David Levin. Then back to Spector, couldn't get that puck to settle down, so it's 𝗏𝗏𝗺 back to get it for Tel Aviv. Right back in, it's 𝗏𝗏𝗺. Turnover handled by Ilya Spector. Puck is bouncing, gets it to lie flat, sends it around for 𝗏𝗏𝗺. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 on his backhand, couldn't get one on goal. Are diving to keep that one in, but it's brought ahead by Janello. Janello cuts the middle, gives to 𝗃𝗁𝗃, he shot one wide. Spector is cherry picking on the far blue line. Marr hits him with a pass as he curls back towards the red line. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 now gets it deep. Back to play it is 𝗧𝗏, but he mishandled it. Out in front for Spector. And then Janello took it away. Janello already playing some heavy minutes. Trying to get around Bosrender, left it for 𝗃𝗁𝗃. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 back to the point. Fedor shoots one on goal, and Marr was there to block it. Kept in the zone by 𝗃𝗁𝗃. He drives one wide. Some early chances from Tel Aviv. Here's Janello in the corner with it. Sends one out in front. It's blocked up and lands on the glass. Horowitz tries to throw one back towards the net, and it was punched away. My apologies, that's not Frank Horowitz, that's Jacob Saunders. So for one time only, the two Saunders brothers, one on Bat Yam and one on Tel Aviv, they're playing together. Notably, Noah Saunders just played for Bat Yam. So a couple extra bodies filling in for 𝗬𝗏 Tel Aviv, as there is going to be a whistle and a face-off in the neutral zone.
Early down in the Netanya end, we saw two decent chances from Tel Aviv, both created by Mike Janello, and they came both from on the stick of 𝗃𝗁𝗃. And it's going to be really important for them, too, as the two best players on this Tel Aviv team tonight to create chances.
Kreimerman. 𝗬𝗏 Netanya gave it to 𝗫𝗏. Kreimerman trying to throw it back across the ice. It was blocked away by Bloom. Bitterman punches it back behind the net, but Ungerman trying to feed one out in front, and 𝗫𝗏 was there to break it up again for 𝗬𝗏 Netanya. Here's Ungerman back in with it. Ungerman backhands one out in front. It was sticked away by 𝗫𝗏. 𝗫𝗏 hard off the wall onto the stick of Milner. Milner all the way over for Litterman. Litterman out in front, blocked away by Saunders. It comes to Milner, he shoots one and it went high and out of play. Reiner might have got a piece of that one.
He absolutely did, and he saved the goal. Really, really good chance for Aviv Milner right there on the doorstep. It was just him and the goalie. And there we saw Kreiner come up on top in that chance.
Ori 𝗂𝗄𝗃 playing a little bit of offense, tries to win that faceoff away from Ungerman, but then Adi Riegler, a backhand chance on goal, was stopped by Daniel Kreiner. Ugartson gets it down low. Riegler a shot, and I think that hit the side of the net. Aronovich at the near half wall. Gets away from Saunders. He's taken down. There's going to be a penalty. Referee Max Abrahams, one of the Jerusalem Capitals players, doing double duty tonight, making the call there, sending Jacob Saunders to the box.
Yeah, Jacob Saunders getting in the score sheet early, penalizing Tel Aviv. That's one thing, you know, filling in. Tel Aviv would not have wanted him to do tonight. That just shows you the speed of this Netanya team. They're always moving their feet, and they draw so many tripping penalties just because of how fast they are.
Netanya gets to work on their first power play of the night. They got the big guns out there. It's Milner handling it and giving it across to David Levin. Levin sends one out in front. He had 𝗏𝗏𝗺 parked right on the side of Kreiner. Couldn't get him the pass. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 Sends one off the glass, and he'll chase after it in the corner. Good play by 𝗬𝘂𝗧 to muscle off 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗀𝗃, and he'll skate back to the bench. Milner, cross-ice feed for 𝗏𝗏𝗏, intercepted by Janello. Better cleared the zone, and then Milner tried to bring it back in. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 now shoves off Janello, tries to grab his head, and that will be a penalty. Somehow he's complaining that call, but that's a clear penalty on 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 not only grabbed Janello's head once, but he did it twice. And really, really good penalty killing from Tel Aviv there. At first, we saw 𝗬𝗀𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗀𝗃 alone, forechecking, keeping the puck in the Netanya zone. And then the second time we see Janello do it, and he drew a penalty. And now we're going to have 1 minute and 14 seconds of 4-on-4. And then Tel Aviv's going to have 45 seconds of their own on a power play.
So 4-on-4 coming up. Kislyk, Janello, 𝗧𝗏, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏, the unit for HC Tel Aviv. Litterman, 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏, Milner, and Spector out there for HC Netanya, and they take control of this puck behind the net. Litterman drops it for Spector. He'll let Aviv Milner skate into this one, and he moves fast down right wing. Left side, it's Litterman. Litterman tried to give it back to Milner, was broken up. Now Janello the other way. Janello is shot off the stick of Spector, and it hit the glass. Kept in the zone by 𝗧𝗏, he'll punch it deep. 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 checked by Janello, but he's able to move the puck. Right side, Litterman. 𝗧𝗏 putting on a back check, but it comes to Aviv Milner in the left circle. He sends one on goal, looking for a tip from 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏. That one wouldn't go. 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏, the player coach, wearing number 4 in black. Usually see him behind the bench, but filling in on defense tonight. Here is Bloom cutting down Main Street. He shoots in a save by 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗏.
Really, really good glove save by 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗏. He saw the puck the whole way. Just a shot from Eitan Bloom. There was no one in between him and the net. And a nice, pretty simple glove save from 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗏.
Ungerman tried to win that one forward off the tie-up. It's brought ahead, though, by Guy Aronovich for Netanya. Ungerman has to settle this one down in the neutral zone on a delayed offside. He regular plays catch with Guy Aronovich, and then Marr sends it ahead for Greimerman. Greimerman from behind the red line will get in deep, but his team now killing a penalty, so that is a kosher play. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 now launches this one down the ice. Greimerman couldn't handle it, so here comes 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, he scores! Stuffed it through the legs of Daniel 𝗬𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏, then we're tied. It's 1-1.
Great goal from Tel Aviv. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 showing how dangerous he is and the speed he has. See, looks like the puck snuck in through 𝗬𝗪𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏's legs. 5-hole. That play all started. 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 kind of flicked the puck up. I didn't love that play, but next thing we know, it's bouncing around. It goes right past the Netanya defense and on 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃's stick, and he finishes it, and we have a tie game.
Tel Aviv, not much to play for anymore, but spoiling Netanya's perfect season. They seem up to the task so far in this one. Here's a centering feed for Janello. He's knocked down by Sigalov. Kislyk then throws it over to Bloom. Bloom out in front for Janello. He couldn't get a stick on that one. Now here's David Levin, 2-on-1 with Spector. Levin in front for Spector to the backhand, he scores! 𝗬𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 finishes that beautiful pass from David Levin, and it's 2-1 Netanya.
We have seen so many times this year, not only David Levin making great passes, which he did right there, but 𝗬𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 being so smart in front of the net. He didn't rush that shot and try to one-time it, which was exactly where Kreiner was going, thinking where the puck was going to come from, but he just waited, moving in the exact opposite direction that Kreiner was, and he puts the puck away effortlessly. Just the smarts of 𝗬𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 putting away that goal.
David Levin involved in both of Netanya's goals early in this hockey game. And right after 𝗃𝗁𝗃 tied it, Netanya's got the lead back. Milner backhands that one off the wall, and 𝗃𝗁𝗃 will have to hustle back for this one. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 launched the pass ahead into the skates of Janello. It's handled by 𝗂𝗏 for Netanya. He sends Aviv Milner on his way. Milner out in front, a chance is stuffed out by 𝗃𝗁𝗃. Horowitz had a good opportunity to put that one by Daniel Greiner. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 clears the zone. It's Ugurtson back to handle for Netanya, but then 𝗏 mishandled. Here's Janello on goal. He's stopped by 𝗬𝗏. The rebound chance for Blue. He couldn't get it on goal. Janello wraps it in front and through the crease. Somehow that one stays out, and Netanya able to clear, and it's not fast enough for an icing. This one stopped on the side of the net by Daniel 𝗬𝗏. And Netanya will look to break this one out, but Aronovich can't get it through the neutral zone. Good play by 𝗧𝗏 stepping up. Boschilo through center ice. Blocked away by 𝗃𝗄𝗃, and it's brought ahead by Riegler. Here's Riegler to the outside. Shot one the other way, went off the skate of 𝗃𝗁𝗃. 𝗧𝗏 rides Liger in, excuse me. He took Riegler out, and then Aronovich back on it behind the net. Centers one out in front for 𝗃𝗄𝗃. He was blocked away by Fedor. On his backhand, he's able to find Noah Saunders. Up ahead for Boschilo. Boschilo behind the net with this one. He's ridden off by Kreimerman. Skates a stick from Kreimerman, and he's able to find some space behind Daniel 𝗬𝗏. Lead pass ahead for Guy Aronovich, away from his stick, so it's handled by Jacob Saunders playing some defense. Big hit at center ice by Noah Saunders on 𝗏𝗏. 𝗬𝗏 tried to punch that one to the corner. Instead, it's 𝗂𝗂𝗄 handling it for 𝗵𝗃 Netanya. This one comes ahead right side for David Levin. Has Spector trailing him. Gets him the puck. Spector shoots, and that one rang the chimes. And then Levin kicked it back on goal, and Greiner able to cover it up.
Once again, we see how dangerous the combination of David Levin and Ilya Spector could be. We almost had a second goal with the exact same scoreline of 17 from 16. It's not going to be the only time tonight. I think we'll see a couple more chances, a couple more goals with that exact scoreline.
Those two still out on the ice, and even though 𝗃𝗁𝗃 and Spector are getting into it on the faceoff, they drop the puck. Tel Aviv controlling. Kisluk able to get it out onto the stick of Janello. He falls down, gets right back up with control. Janello is shot off the leg of 𝗏. Still with the puck. Janello shoots one. It went over the crossbar. Saunders ahead to 𝗃𝗁𝗃. He couldn't handle that one cleanly. Comes back to Saunders. He gives it over to Reib. And now Janello sends it ahead to 𝗃𝗁𝗃. Chopped away by Kreimerman. Good play with the stick there in the high slot. Sent down low for Janello. Trying to kick it around, but there is David Levin to collect for 𝗵𝗃 Netanya. With the help of Litterman, he gets it ahead. David Levin to the outside. He thought he was hooked by Jacob Saunders, and so does the referee. Hand is still up, and now finally the whistle. It will be a penalty on Tel Aviv.
Rightfully so. That's going to be the second penalty tonight on Jacob Saunders. On this one, he just put his stick around David Levin, who was flying by him. And now he's going to come off the ice for a hooking penalty. It's definitely the right call. I mentioned it earlier, how the speed of Netanya draws so many penalties. And drew another one right there.
So it's Saunders off for hooking, and another power play coming up for 𝗵𝗃 Netanya. Again, they've got the big guns out there. Milner, Spector, and David Levin at the points. That pass intended for Riegler away from him. Tel Aviv looking to break out shorthanded. Spector able to hold the puck in the neutral zone, gets it right side to Levin. Levin curls away from Bloom. Levin out in front, intended for Spector. Now a failed clear attempt by Tel Aviv, kept in by 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Back to the point for 𝗬𝗏. Right side, it's 𝗬𝗃𝗃. He takes 𝗬𝗏's spot at the point. Down low to 𝗬𝗏. 𝗬𝗏 opens up for a drive, doesn't take it. Sends it back to 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Off the boards, he sends 𝗪𝗁 down low for it. Then around to 𝗬𝗏, and then 𝗬𝗏. All the way across. 𝗬𝗏 had to skate into that one. He shoveled it to the far wall where 𝗪𝗁 will control. 𝗪𝗁 curls it back to the point for 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Sends one on goal off the glove, bouncing in the crease, and then swatted away from the front of the goal by 𝗀𝗏. 𝗬𝗏 back in. He shoots one, and it went off a stick and wide. 𝗬𝗏 holds the zone, gives to 𝗪𝗁. Back to 𝗬𝗏. He drags around. He shoots, and a save by Kreiner. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 in neutral ice. He gives to 𝗧𝗏. He has to come all the way back into his own end with this one. Now 𝗬𝗃𝗃 launches one ahead towards Lederman. That went through his skates. It will go all the way down and will become an icing, even though Kreiner stepped out of his goal crease.
Once again, in the first minute and a half of this power play, we see how dangerous David 𝗬𝗏 can be. He created so many chances right there. One I like to pick out is how well this team plays. It was broken up, but David 𝗬𝗏 tried to throw a little saucer pass to Aviv Milner, who was flying down on the far side of the net. This team, they know exactly where all of their teammates are going to be at all times, and that's what makes them so special, and that's the reason they're 8-0.
Off the face-off, Aviv Milner skates into this one. As Lederman going for it, tries to get it to him, and it was broken up by 𝗏𝗃𝗃. Reimerman walks the line, gives it to Seaglove. He sends one down low, hard pass for 𝗧𝗏𝗃, then is shot by 𝗪𝗁, is turned aside by Kreiner. Milner looks for a pass. He's guarded by Kapulkin. Finds Reimerman. Down low to 𝗪𝗁. Touch pass to Milner. He shoots. It got blocked. Lead pass ahead for 𝗀𝗏. He'll skate into this one. Leaves it ahead for Kapulkin. Kapulkin to Janello, and then he got a weak shot on and a save by Elisayev. The other way comes Aviv Milner. Power play is over. Milner hit hard by Max Reib, and then Lederman comes away with the puck, tries to center one out in front. Milner shoots, he scores! Aviv Milner extends the Netanya lead. It's 3-1.
Tel Aviv are skating so hard and playing so hard right now. There's not much you can do against this Netanya team. The puck came out right into Milner's stick in the middle after a few deflections, and he slots it away. A little bit of confusion. Daniel Kreiner was moving the other way, and it left the left side of the net wide open for Aviv Milner. He puts it away and extends Netanya's lead to 2.
They do so with under a minute to go in the first period. Blum gets it ahead for Ungerman, and Elisayev able to kick it away at the last moment. That was going right between his legs. Then a big collision at center ice between 𝗧𝗏𝗃 and Blum. Moore brings it the other way, and he scores! Action at all 3 ends of the ice, and Netanya puts it away again. It's 4-1.
The floodgates are open. Tel Aviv's defensive effort, which has been so strong for the first few minutes of this game, all of a sudden it's just not enough. As Mar slots it home, a really, really nice shot to the far top corner of the net. Now at the end of this play, we see some jawing at center ice, and that is in response to the big hit we saw just moments before that goal.
It's Yoav Mar's first goal of the season. Player coach with the run on a hitman from 2014 to 2019. Comes to Blum on his backhand, tries to feed one out in front, and he got a shot away. It was stopped by Elisayev. That one nearly snuck by him, and he's able to glove it.
Ungerman had a really, really good chance there right in front of the net. He just couldn't get enough juice on that puck to get it past 𝗪𝗀𝗃, and I think he's looked really dangerous so far in this game. He's been really fast for this Tel Aviv team, playing on the second line under Janello and 𝗃𝗀𝗃. He's looked great so far tonight.
Having a nice touch pass ahead for Spector, and he shot it wide in the final second of the first. I don't think HC Netanya needs any more goals. They're up 4-1 heading to the first intermission. We'll be right back here on the Israel National Hockey Society YouTube channel. Welcome back to One Ice Arena for the second period here between HC Netanya and HC Tel Aviv. Netanya firmly in the driver's seat with this one, leading 4-1 against a highly depleted HC Tel Aviv bench. We've counted just about 11 players, and 2 of them not officially on the Tel Aviv roster. Tel Aviv already eliminated from playoff contention, and Netanya has already locked up the top seed in the IEHL. Here's Levin, a drop pass for Aronovich, and then that exchange went sour. It's handled now by 𝗀𝗃. He launches one ahead, trying to hit 𝗃𝗀𝗃, and it was blocked away by Kreimerman. David Levin up ahead to Spector. There was 𝗃𝗀𝗃 wiping out at center ice. Spector feeds one out in front, and jamming away at it is Aronovich, but finally the whistle blows, and we'll have a face-off. Now Litterman getting into it with 𝗀𝗃. He needs to be separated by the referee, Max Abrahams. Abrahams and Litterman having an extended conversation here.
You'd really think that Litterman would know better not to start all of these, not to start a scrum like this, being a ref for many of the games, and how annoying it is to have to deal with stuff like that, and he will get penalized for his actions. I think is the right call by Abrahams. He doesn't want this game to get out of hand. It's a short-staffed Tel Aviv team playing against the best team in the league, already a 3-goal game. And that's definitely the right call. And hopefully Tel Aviv could get one back to make this a good game here for them. I really thought they played a great first period of hockey, and they find themselves down 3 goals.
I absolutely agree with you. A lot of that was David Levin just taking over the game. But overall, it was a good period from HC Tel Aviv. They had a lot of good chances on Daniel Elisayev. Janello trying to go to work here as HC Tel Aviv heads to the power play. Janello shoots one, and he hit the side of the net. Now comes back to the point for Fedor. Over to 𝗃𝗀𝗃. Back to the point for Fedor. He plays catch with Ariel 𝗃𝗃𝗃. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 shoots one through his screen. He also hit the side of the net. 𝗧𝗏 ridden off by Milner, and they're able to clear the zone. Milner had Spector breaking shorthanded. Milner gets the puck back, and 𝗃𝗃𝗃 runs into him. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 brings it back the other way for HC Tel Aviv. Tries to drag around 3 players, and they all stood him up. kept in the zone by 𝗨𝗏𝗺. Backhands one down to 𝗃𝗁𝗃. Back towards 𝗏𝗏𝗺. He got tied up with �milner. Still battling for it along the sidewall. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 down on his knees. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 with the puck. Tries to center one out in front. Good play by 𝗪 to break it up. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 back in front for 𝗏𝗏𝗺, and he couldn't get that puck as he slid to his knees again. Netanya gets the clear with 52 seconds left in the power play. Here's Janello, moving well through center ice. Janello to the outside with this one. Stick checked away by Harwitz. Good move in the corner to keep control of the puck. Janello feeds one out in front for 𝗧𝗏, and he couldn't get it on goal. Oof, what a pass by Janello.
Yeah, in his last game of the year, Janello, this really means a lot to him. You can see how hard he's skating. He's really played an exceptional period and plus 3 minutes so far. He's really attacking, and he's going to need to continue doing the same if Tel Aviv wants to put more goals on the board.
Here's Ungerman over the line. He shoots one and a save by 𝗬𝗏𝗧. I didn't see that one go off his pad. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 diving for that one. It goes over the blue line, and Tel Aviv needs to bring it back in. 𝗧𝗏 wipes out behind his goalie, Daniel Kreiner. Still with possession, though, able to feed one ahead for Voshilo. Potential 3-on-2 for Tel Aviv. Voshilo has it knocked away by Primerman, and then it ends up in neutral ice. Here's David Levin, though. Levin behind the net, trying to come out the other side. Didn't see anything there, so he threw it out in front, and Ungerman controls for Tel Aviv. Goes one hard off the wall, but not out. 𝗪 gets it over for Aronovich. Aronovich back over, got kicked on goal by Ethan Bloom, and a save by Kreiner. Levin still with the puck for Netanya. David Levin out to 𝗪, trying to feed one out in front, was blocked away by Bloom, and then Voshilo clears the zone. Levin brings it in again, left side Aronovich. As Harwitz going to the goal, it was broken up by 𝗧𝗏. He launches one ahead for Janello, fresh off the bench. It was broken up, though, by the Netanya defense. Harwitz chips it up ice. Tel Aviv will send this one back down, but players were still coming out of the offensive zone, and after all that, it's an icing.
Just a moment ago, we saw 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗺 at 19 years old have placed a nice little hit on David Levin. David Levin, at the end of his shift in retaliation, tried to hit 𝗏𝗏𝗺 back, and he couldn't move him. And that's part of 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗺's game, just how great he is at the physical aspect of it.
Sigalov steps and shoots one off the leg of Sigal Kisluk. Now comes back to 𝗃𝗁𝗃, and he'll send one ahead. Kisluk finishes his hit on Litterman. Now it's brought back in by Sigalov. Sends it over for �milner. �milner curls behind the net, sends one out in front for Litterman. It was past him, but Sigalov collects at the point. Down low to �milner. �milner out in front. Primerman sends one towards Harwitz. It was broken up. Now Janello sends it ahead for 𝗃𝗁𝗃. He's behind the defense. He couldn't get a shot away. 𝗬𝗏𝗧 stopped whatever shot that was and able to put it in the corner. Now Netanya brings it back. 4-on-2. Drop from �milner in front, and Primerman couldn't direct it on goal. Now back Litterman shot it wide. Here's �milner again. �milner drives one off a leg, and now a fight. Janello and Arto Litterman. Here we go. Litterman goes right after Janello. They were tied up now. Litterman throwing some rights, as is Janello. Janello's got Litterman down on the ice. Those two are gonna hug it out and head to the penalty box.
Mike Janello really wants to leave his mark in his last game of the year. And Litterman, who looks a little shaken up, he's holding his shoulder as he goes to the penalty box. He's hurt. He's actually going to go back to the locker room, it looks like now. In this fight, we see it. Yeah, it looks like Litterman hurt his shoulder in that little fight with Janello. That's going to be Litterman's 7th penalty minute of this game. As we mentioned earlier, he is one of the referees of this league. And he had a hard time refereeing and giving out penalties the last game, so it looks like he wants to return the favor and make the job of the referees in this game, make their job a little harder.
Well, on the bright side, and I think as announcers, I think it's important that we give credit where credit is due. That was, I think, one of the first clean fights we've seen in a while. Both players agreed to it. They got behind the net, they talked things over, and they agreed to mutually drop the gloves. The referees let them have it, and it was a good, clean fight between two willing combatants, and then they hugged it out afterwards. So that's what we love to see. That's hockey fighting. A lot of cheap shots in multiple games and a lot of scrums that just ended sourly. So good consensual tilt right there. Here's 𝗀𝗲𝗺 bringing it back in. He sends his man down hard to the ice. That was Niku Gartson. Gartson able to send it up ahead from David Levin. He's able to stick handle around 𝗏𝗏 and bring it up ice. Levin shoots one into the glove of Daniel Kreiner.
Really, really nice save by Daniel Kreiner. We saw that quick release from David Levin, which is so hard to defend against because it comes at you so fast. You don't really see the shot coming, which that's part of the game and why how dangerous David Levin is at all times in the offensive zone.
Faceoff coming deep in the Tel Aviv zone. They need one more player out. They're going to send Ethan Bloom, as Noah Saunders will step in for this faceoff, and he'll win it. Solfeder on his backhand, able to clear the zone. Collected by Nick Kreimerman in his own end. Sigelov turned it over. Bloom shoots, and a save by 𝗬𝗏.
We saw a little bit of confusion with Tel Aviv of getting the players on the ice, and that's because one of their 10 skaters tonight is in the box, and that is their captain and best player, Mike Janello. It's going to be a very important next 4 minutes with Janello in the box, see how everyone else can step up.
There's a big hit by 𝗪howitz in the corner on Kapulkin. You were talking about Janello. He's the all-time leader in IEHL points, as there's another big hit behind the net. Saunders finishing 𝗪howitz. Fortunately for Tel Aviv, though, they can't get possession. Coffrey mishandled that puck. It's collected by Chen Zadek behind his net. Feeds it ahead for Bloom on his backhand. Tries to find Saunders, but 𝗪howitz there to intercept. Brought in by Kapulkin. He's set up at the line by Sigelov, and then Bloom will get it deep. Goes off on a change. 𝗀𝗲𝗺 takes his spot. Kapulkin going off as well. Brought ahead by Adi Riegler. Riegler trying to cut to the middle was broken up by Zadek. Now down low, it's 𝗀𝗲𝗺 feeding it around for Kisluk. Steal by David Levin. He controls on the near wall. Sends one out in front, and they score! Ori Coffrey off a sick feed from David Levin, and it's 5-1.
Talked about David Levin's passing so much tonight. This was a pass that no one saw but him. He saw Ori Coffrey sitting at the back post, and he put the puck right where it needed to be for the easiest finish possible. That's multiple times tonight where David Levin has made a pass where the goal scorer has had to do absolutely nothing but put the puck into a wide open net. That's why he's so special.
Ori Coffrey's second goal of the year, giving Netanya a 4-goal advantage. Here's Milner. David Levin calling for it, gets the puck, shoots and scores! The will to score from David Levin is absolutely unmatched. It's a 6-1 hockey game.
We've talked earlier in this game about the chemistry and how this Netanya team knows where everyone's going to be. You see on this play, David Levin calls for the puck skating into the zone. Right at the right moment, he gets the puck. and puts it home. That amazing wrist shot. There was nothing Kreiner could do. David Levin's just too good.
Tel Aviv controlling off the face-off, and 2 quick goals from 𝗬𝗁 Netanya, and the hill for HC Tel Aviv just got a little bit higher.
It absolutely did. 5 goals against this Netanya team. It was almost impossible to climb back. I do really love the way this Tel Aviv team is playing, believe it or not. Down 6-1. They're skating really hard, being that short-staffed. And until those 2 goals, they played the better period thus far.
It was a 6-2 hockey game the last time these 2 teams met. Obviously, HC Netanya winning that one as well, and a much fuller bench for HC Tel Aviv. But now just halfway through this hockey game, HC Netanya has matched their goal total from a couple weeks ago against this very same hockey team. Here's Bussrender back to handle this one, wearing number 5 in black. Up ahead for Levin. Right side, it's Milner. Drops it for Levin. Levin drops it right back for Marr, gets it across to Milner. In front for Spector, and that one bounces up high in the crease. Settled down by Marr, trying to go back to the point with this one. Levin was there. Marr takes it himself. Down low to Levin, feeds one out in front for Spector. Kreiner will just swipe at that one, put it back in the crease. Milner sends one to the goal. Here's Levin out in front, and he scores again.
Welcome to the David Levin Show, everybody. He's just putting on a clinic tonight of how to score, how to make great passes. And this one, the puck bounces right to his stick in front of the net. Just smelled another goal and put it away.
Another goal for David Levin tonight. He's been all over the ice tonight for HC Netanya. If you're a team that's going to face him in the playoffs, I'm not sure how you really defend that. As Riegler shoots it wide, I don't care if it's Netanya who ends up making it or Batyan. Those are the only 2 teams that HC Netanya could face in the first round. As we mentioned in our last game, the Xulon-Jerusalem matchup is locked up. So Netanya will have to wait a bit longer to figure out who they're going to play in the first round. Here's Ungerman, a backhand shot. It goes wide.
Just as you mentioned, Ben, the only way to stop this team, in my opinion, is to put somebody full-time on David Levin, where his only responsibility is skating with him. Everywhere he goes, you go. That's the only possible way you could stop this team.
I guess on Haifa, that player would be Nathaniel Schwartz, as Netanya controls it near the corner. Netanya actually Haifa forced Netanya to a shootout. There's another save by Daniel Kreiner. It was the closest Netanya came to losing a game. Also, they were almost beaten by Batyan in a shootout. But Nathaniel Schwartz could be that prime candidate to go one-on-one against David Levin. But of course, we'll have to see in the next 2 game days who Netanya's matchup will be in the semifinals. It's Haifa and Batyan battling for that final seed in the IEHL playoffs. Solfeder back to handle this one. It comes around for Chen Zadek. He launches a pass ahead for Ariel Kapulkin. Kapulkin in a goal. He shoots in a save by Elisayev. That one also got past him. It ended up in the corner though. Kapulkin. Back to the point for Feder. He shoots one on goal and into the glove of Daniel Elisayev.
Really, really nice save there from Elisayev. He's used that glove really well a couple times tonight, where just can't get it by him. And as you mentioned, Ben, that Haifa team I do think could give Netanya the best run of the final 2 teams remaining And that is mostly because of their goalie, Artur Zalavian, who's the best goalie in this league, and he's getting hot at the right time. That's what you might need to take down Netanya, is just a goalie who stands on his head for one game.
Here's a 2-on-1 the other way for Tel Aviv in the meantime. 𝗏𝗏 out in front for 𝗃𝗁𝗃, and he couldn't bring that back to his forehand. Now pass ahead for 𝗬𝗏𝗃. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 to the middle. Still with the puck. Drops it up for Milner. Then over to Levin. He goes back to Milner. Little bit over generous. It comes to Levin though. Bet in front for Milner. They can't put it home. Levin again though. He shot one off the pad. Comes into the slot. And Tel Aviv clears.
David Levin doesn't even want to score anymore. He had a wide open net and instead chose to throw it back to Aviv Milner. Just trying to feed everybody else at this point in the game.
Now this one's taken by Ariel 𝗃𝗁𝗃. Has to move in 1-on-3. Stick checked at the line by Yoav Mara. It's brought back by Guy Aronovich. In front for Milner. That pass was behind him. Back to the point for Mar. Got into his skates. He'll take this one behind the net. Mar double teamed. And it's taken away by, I believe that's 𝗃𝗁𝗃. Excuse me, the 𝗧𝗏𝗃, and he launches it down the ice. That one goes all the way down. It will become an icing.
With that icing, both Litterman and Janela are going to come out of the box. And Janela, who had played heavy minutes up until that fighting major, will have now 5 minutes of rest. I expect to see him go really, really hard for the rest of this game, as he was expected to play heavy minutes, and he hasn't played as many because he's been in the box for the last 5. I expect the well-rested Janela to really leave his mark the next 3 minutes and 19 seconds of this period.
Tel Aviv playing for pride at this point, and so far they're getting beat 7-1 by the best team in the league. Aronovich dropped it for Riegler. They move ahead 3-on-2. Riegler opens up, sends one all the way over for Aronovich. He couldn't get any of that one-timer. Aronovich down low for Kreimerman. Up top for Siegelov. Spins a pass over to Kreimerman. Kreimerman down low for, oh my goodness, they score! That's near Siegelov. Excuse me, that's Guy Aronovich. From an impossible angle, and it's 8-1.
They are checking right now to see if there is a hole in the net.
Oh boy.
Daniel Kreiner is making the argument that that puck did go through a hole. And Max Abrahams is checking it right now, and we'll hear the official word because, Ben, as you said, that was an impossible angle. But I believe this goal will stand.
It's not too impossible for Guy Aronovich, that's for sure. This goal is gonna count. Ridiculous shot from Guy Aronovich. His first goal of the season.
Yeah, he was literally in line with the net. He somehow got it home with a great one-timer that Daniel Kreiner could not get there fast enough.
Here is Horowitz bringing this one ahead. A good back check there from Ungerman, though. Broke it up. So it's Aronovich from Siegelov and Kreimerman, the young guns for 𝗬𝗏𝗃 and Netanya, adding to this intense lead. Ostrander turned the puck over. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 ahead to Ungerman. Sends it cross ice for Bloom. Has 𝗃𝗁𝗃 going to the net, but stolen away by Marr and then brought ahead by Litterman. Litterman opens up. Gets away from Saunders. Out in front, it comes back for Horowitz. Horowitz steps and shoots in a blocker save by Kreiner.
Really, really nice blocker save by Kreiner there. He got his right arm up just high enough to defend the shot of Horowitz because that was headed for the back of the net. And after letting in 8, it's hard to pull your head back and stay in the game, but that's what Kreiner's done with a really nice save right there.
Fortunately for him, I think you could say most of those goals have not really been his fault. Probably the Guy Aronovich one is a little bit on Daniel Kreiner, but a lot of this has been the David Levin show. Here's Riegler out in front for 𝗬𝗃𝗄, couldn't get it on goal. Kreimerman a shot, deflected on by Riegler, and it hit the glass. Riegler, good strength to get away from 𝗧𝗃, but eventually got the puck away from him. Here's Janello, in over the blue line. Goes behind the net. Looking for anyone to get the puck to it. There's a nice move by Janello. Still with possession of the puck, but then 𝗬𝗃𝗃 won the battle. Tried to get it ahead, kept in the zone by 𝗃𝗀𝗃. He shoots one off the pad of 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Saucer pass ahead for a Riegler. Ties up with 𝗧𝗃, and then David Levin back on the ice will bring it ahead. Drop feed for 𝗬𝗃𝗃, and a save by Kreider.
Once again, we see David Levin setting up his teammate, and the name we call most, with an assist from David Levin, is 𝗬𝗃𝗃. They just find each other so well. They both know exactly where the other is going to be at all times. That has created so many scoring chances, as we saw right there.
When Mike Levin is playing for HC Netanya, it's normally the Levin brothers and 𝗬𝗃𝗃 on a line together, and they're nearly unstoppable on the ice. Saw a great first line in the last game with the Spivak brothers and Sherbatov. The Levin brothers and 𝗬𝗃𝗃 are just as good for HC Netanya. Here's Aronovich 3-on-2 into the zone for Netanya. Milner shoots, and it whistled wide. Aronovich has Milner open out in front, tries to get him the puck. There was Coffrey swatting at it, and he couldn't get it on goal. That one's hard off the glass, back onto the stick of Marr, and then 𝗃𝗀𝗃 will bring it ahead. 𝗃𝗀𝗃 drops it for Saunders. He shoots one off a leg. It's Yoav Mars. Now 𝗃𝗀𝗃 gets it over to Fedor, but time runs out here in period 2. Netanya doubling their goal total from the first. It's an 8-1 hockey game. We'll go to the long intermission and be right back for the third period here on the Israel National Hockey Society YouTube channel. Welcome back to One Ice Arena. 𝗬𝗏 Netanya leading 𝗬𝗏 Tel Aviv by a score of 8-1, and a quick look at the standings. They're not too relevant in this one, but as we mentioned before, we have a playoff matchup locked up. The 𝗂𝗏 𝗏𝗺𝗺 and Jerusalem Capitals will face each other in the semifinals. Netanya playing really well tonight. They're awaiting whoever ends up in the 4th seed. It's either going to be Haifa or Bat Yam. Those two teams have a couple more games left. Haifa has one more game tomorrow against Jerusalem. Bat Yam will play 𝗂𝗏 and Netanya in order to wrap things up. And then you see Aviv Milner. He's been on fire so far this season. Those stats were before this game. He's been on fire tonight, Jacob.
He absolutely has. He's another one of those speedy weapons that Netanya has. He makes so many plays using his speed up along the boards, and we've seen him do that many times tonight. That's why this team is so good. He's not on their top line, and he's still so talented. He'd be on the top line on almost every other team in this league, and he just dominates every other team's second line. That's why his numbers are so incredible this year.
You saw in that graphic, 7 goals and 10 assists for 18 points for Aviv Milner. Excuse me, 17 points. As the puck has dropped here in the 3rd period, 𝗂𝗏 was involved in a scrum towards the end of the 2nd period. He is in the box, so a power play for Tel Aviv to start the 3rd. This one's brought ahead by Kislook. Chopped down. Elysayev will backhand this one around. Kislook at the point. Drops it for 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 out in front looking for a tip from 𝗃𝗀𝗃. He couldn't get it on goal. Janello walks into the slot. Shot one wide. Failed clear by Netanya. Kept in the zone by 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 picked up by Coffrey. He sends it cross ice for 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 back to 𝗏𝗏. All the way over for 𝗃𝗀𝗃. 𝗃𝗀𝗃 turns away from Coffrey, gives to 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 shoots one through his screen. Pat save. Rebound chance by Kislook. Was patted aside by Elysayev. 𝗧𝗏 cuts to the slot. Watched by Spector. Now Janello drifts down. Passes up top to 𝗏𝗏. Tries to get it over for 𝗃𝗀𝗃. But Coffrey got in the way of that slow pass. But 𝗃𝗀𝗃 picks it back up. Janello to 𝗏𝗏, and he shot it wide. There is Spector getting the clear.
On that power play, we saw some decent chances and some decent shots on net, but in my opinion, the screen was not good enough.
Here's 𝗪anovic on a breakaway. He's stopped by Kreider. No, he scores! While he's falling, Guy 𝗪anovic has his 2nd goal of the game.
Really, really bad turnover on the power play. The puck came right to 𝗪anovic, made a nifty little move and had just enough to squeak it through the legs of Daniel Kreiner as he was moving to his right. I think there might have been a penalty called there too if there had not have been a goal.
This goal is being waved off. No explanations from the referees. 𝗪anovic trying to get it right back. He throws it into the glove of Daniel Kreiner. Jake, I'm not sure why that one was waved off.
Maybe it could have been some sort of offsides. I'm not exactly sure because I know that 𝗪anovic did get the puck as he was circling out of the zone. I couldn't tell you either why there was no goal, but that's my best guess.
This one's sent all the way down. Tel Aviv on the power play, so it will become an icing. Any other time, I think we'd have a little bit more controversy, but Netanya already leading this one 8-1, so not much to complain about. Guy 𝗪anovic already has a goal tonight, so too bad. One got taken off. 𝗪anovic, he rang the post! That close to getting it right back. 𝗵𝗃 sends this one down behind the net. 𝗫𝗏 there to collect it for Tel Aviv. He's watched by Miller. Liederman. That's 𝗬𝗲 wearing number 82, and he's the right-handed shot. Liederman, the other 82 on Netanya, is the left-handed shot. 𝗵𝗺 trying to find 𝗧𝗲. Goes behind the net where 𝗪H𝗺 will take it. He's pinned to the boards by Jacob Saunders, and he's able to get it out. Janello, left side for Noah Saunders, able to step around a hit, but he couldn't bring the puck with him. Cleared out of the zone. Kreiner out to play this one. Has to move it away from 𝗧𝗲. Now it's thrown back on goal, and Kreiner will cover it up.
A really dangerous play from Kreiner there. It's been a couple times tonight where he's tried to play the puck and he's looked really, really uncomfortable. And that one there, he just second-guessed himself and put it back into pressure when he did have the boards open, which looked to be his initial alley to make that pass. He's got to be more comfortable playing the puck.
Off the face-off, Liederman shot one off the glove of Daniel Kreiner. Kislook able to bring it out over the line. Janello will recollect it as he drifts back into his own end. Drops it for 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 tries to go ahead for Janello, who is off a skate and back into friendly territory for HC Tel Aviv. Lead pass ahead for Janello now. Tries to get away from Kreimerman and Sigelov. Janello on the far side of the ice throws one to the goal, and it was deflected wide by Kislook. Federer a drive and a save. Kislook the follow-up, and it was off the pads of 𝗬𝗀. 𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗆 threw it to the corner off the legs of the referee. 𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗆 turned it over. Here's Milner. Milner trying to get behind the defense. Milner to the backhand. He's taken by Ariel Kapolkin. There's gonna be a penalty. I don't think a penalty shot though.
I don't think it'll be a penalty shot either. It looked like it was more on a hook, as you could see 𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗆 on the back check wrapped all the way around Milner to try to dispossess the puck from him on that breakaway. Really, really good chance for Aviv Milner. We talked about that speed, and he used it right there to create a scoring chance, which eventually leads to this power play.
Ariel Kapolkin in the box, 2 minutes for hooking. With 11:17 left in the third period, Netanya will head back to the power play. Even up 8-1, they'll send the top guns out there to start this power play. Milner, 𝗧𝗲, 𝗵𝗺, Spector, and Levin. Better diving to get that one out of the zone, and it's brought in by Voshilo. He shoots one off of 𝗬𝗀𝗃, and then Levin dangerously handles that one in the crease. It's turned over. Ungerman tied up with 𝗵𝗺. Levin back to get it. He chips it away from Voshilo. The drop pass to 𝗵𝗺, and he has time and space to look up ice. Spector, right wing for 𝗵𝗺, tips it in. Better back to play it for Tel Aviv. He'll launch it high off the glass and all the way into the neutral zone. Final game for HC Tel Aviv. They'll be the first IEHL team to complete their schedule here tonight. Schedule increase from 9 to 10 games this season, and this is game number 10. Levin tried to curl a pass from the slot. Now comes to Milner. Spector on the near side of the ice. Curls back to the point with this one. Left side for 𝗧𝗲. 𝗧𝗲 back to Spector. Gives it to Levin. Over to 𝗧𝗲. He shoots one and he scores! Even with the net off, 𝗧𝗲 makes it 9-1.
As we see here, the pass to 𝗧𝗲 came from who else but David Levin with that nifty backhand pass, looking like Nikita Kucherov, who is the king of the backhand passes, slides it all the way to 𝗧𝗲. who rips it home on the top right corner of the net. 𝗏𝗏, who isn't even looking to shoot at this point, continues to add to his point total this year.
16-year-old 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗄 has his second goal of the season, and 𝗬𝗏 Netanya's got their 9th, one away from tying their season high of 10. Well, now actually we're getting word that the 𝗪𝗏𝗏 goal while he was falling down was counted. They didn't put it on the scoreboard until now. So it's a 10-1 𝗬𝗏 Netanya lead, and they have tied their season high, from opening night. So Guy Aronovich, his second goal of the game, and 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗄, his second goal of the season. The 2 goals so far in the third period, and it's a 10-1 lead for Netanya. Aronovich looking for the hat trick, shoots one on Kreiner, and he makes the save.
This Netanya team is just having fun right now, adding to their lead. It's really amazing to see the leading point scorer in this league, 𝗏𝗏, just relaxing on the bench right here, taking it easy. It's pretty fun to watch a guy who's so dominant, not even try to score. He's not going to take a shot on net for the rest of this game, just trying to set up his teammates, which he has done so many times tonight. It's really fun to watch.
𝗏𝗏 has tried out in National Hockey League camps for Toronto, the Coyotes, and Montreal Canadiens. This one sent back in. Toronto, Carolina, and Arizona are the 3 teams he practiced with. So he's been around pro hockey for a while now, only 22 years old. One of the best talents in the IEHL this summer. Doesn't need any more goals, already leading this league. He's passed Phil Bushbacher and Eliezer 𝗕𝗏. Now the only thing left for 𝗏𝗏 to do is secure an IEHL championship. Mentioned the playoffs all night long. They will start on Friday. We mentioned we already know one matchup. It's Cologne, Jerusalem. Still no exact schedule for when each game will be, but they will start Friday afternoon. The bronze medal game will be Saturday. Then the finals Sunday night here at One Ice Arena. This one's batted in by Mike Janello. They call it a goal. 𝗪𝗏 thinks it was over the post. I think he might have a good argument here, Jacob.
Absolutely. While this goal stands, I'm really happy for Mike Janello, the captain who's worked so hard tonight, score a goal. And now we see the referees. They're going to go look back at the footage to see if the stick of Janello was up higher than the crossbar.
That's going to be a close one.
It's really, really close. We see his stick was higher than the crossbar at one point, but when he made contact with the puck, it looks to be almost, let's see it right here.
That's right at the crossbar level. They're going to put the goal on the board. It's going to count.
Absolutely, it is the right call. I think from this replay that you can see right now, it's too close to call. And when there is not enough evidence, the goal will, or the call will stand as it was on the ice.
Here's Spector now controlling it back to the point for 𝗪𝗏. Steps into one, a tip from 𝗏𝗏, and it went wide. Said he wasn't going to shoot anymore.
I don't think that's going to count as a shot on net, so might still be right.
Here's a lead pass ahead for Kapulkin. Lost the puck. Kreimerman trying to send it the other way. It's brought back in off the leg of Kisluk, and now Kapulkin walks to the middle with this one. Guarded well by 𝗪𝗏. Kapulkin gets it over. Janello now behind the net. As Kapulkin parked out in front, trying to find him with that pass. It was blocked away by Kreimerman. Janello down low to 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀. Trying to go out in front for 𝗧𝗲, blocked away by 𝗂𝗂𝗃. Now on the far wall, it's dug out by 𝗂𝗂𝗃. He has �milnr breaking. Comes onto the stick of David 𝗬𝗏. 𝗬𝗏 still not shooting, gets it over to �milnr, now down low for 𝗬𝗏, and he couldn't get it on goal. David 𝗬𝗏 being really generous at this point in the game. He'll tip that one behind 𝗪𝘳 to break up the rush and head on to the bench. At this point, you just want him healthy and ready to go for the playoffs. �milnr, fast shot, that went wide of Kreiner. Ugartson sends it ahead, away from Horowitz and Rigler. Tel Aviv will bring it back the other way, but now a turnover. Here's Aronovich. He drives one into the glove of Kreiner and right back out of it. In front, Rigler couldn't get a stick on that one. Back at the point, Ugartson shoots one off a stick. This one lands without touching the rafters. Behind the net, Aronovich trying to pull it away from Saunders. Rigler goes hard into Saunders, and Saunders returns the favor. Horowitz curls with this one. Lost the puck. It started to bobble on him. Gets it down low for Aronovich. Out in front, he threw one off the back of the leg of Kreiner, and he'll cover it up.
Horowitz, after getting knocked down a few times tonight, finally returned the favor on Reeb. As you see that hit right here. Horowitz with a nice piece of physical play behind the net. He got hit pretty hard earlier in this game. He was sick of being picked on and finally returned the favor.
Face-off will now come deep in the Tel Aviv zone, and Netanya wins it. But 𝗃𝗀𝗃 able to take it away. He's looked really good tonight. Here's 𝗃𝗀𝗃 to the outside with this one. Wraps one out in front, and 𝗪𝘳 got over to pat it away. Janello on his backhand tries to feed one over for 𝗃𝗀𝗃. Was broken up, and now Janello back on it. Gloves it down. Janello trying the Michigan, as we've seen him do multiple times this season, and again, he's unsuccessful. That move is called the Michigan when you try and pick it up from behind your own net and lacrosse style it behind the goaltender, just because the first time that move was actually pulled off successfully, it was done by a player at the University of Michigan. It's been called the lacrosse goal, the Michigan, and also the Svechnikov, because Andrei Svechnikov was the first to pull it off at the National Hockey League level. Janello will have to wait a little bit longer to try it at the IEHL level. Here's �milnr back the other way. As Litterman going to the goal. �milnr shoots and scores!
We talked about Aviv �milnr earlier at the start of this period, and we see how special he is. A really, really good play where he just waited, faked the pass, moved 𝗧𝗲, and just fired it right at the top corner of the net. There was, again, that's another goal where Kreiner couldn't do much about it. Left out to dry, but what a rip. And that's how special this Netanya team is. They're 3 lines deep, and they can beat you with so many players.
Score now 11-2. The highest goal output in a single game this season was Jerusalem. They beat Toulon by a score of 11-5. Here's 𝗃𝗃 trying to set the new record. Drags and shoots, he scores! There it is, Ilya 𝗃𝗃 makes it 12-2.
It's just a constant flow of goals for this Netanya team. Ilya 𝗃𝗃 with another. I've talked about how smart he is, just waits for the right moment to shoot. Really, really nice shot near side on the net. Now, in contrast to the last one, I do think that Daniel Kreiner could have done a little bit more. That was his near side. I do want to note that on the Aviv �milnr goal and the Ilya 𝗃𝗃 goal right there, David 𝗬𝗏 had an assist on both of those goals. Unsurprisingly, I've lost track of how many points he has tonight, but he's just extending the league lead by a wide margin.
We'll catch you up the next time 𝗬𝗃 plays once we could decompress all the stats. 𝗬𝗃 back in on goal. He shot one, and that one hit the post. 𝗬𝗏 curling away with this one, still on the ice with a 12-2 lead. 𝗬𝗃 sends one up the near wall, and it's handled by Kreimerman. 𝗬𝗃 curls it back for 𝗬𝗏, and then back to 𝗬𝗃. Those two are so fun to watch. Here's 𝗬𝗃 going behind the net with this one. Out in front for 𝗬𝗏, and a save by Kreiner. 𝗬𝗏 to 𝗬𝗃, and he hit the side of the net. That one went off the leg of Janello. Bigler with some hard work behind the net. Gets the puck, finds 𝗬𝗃, and a save by Kreiner. Tel Aviv gets the clear.
I know we've said this before on this broadcast, and as crazy as this might sound, I really don't think Tel Aviv have played a bad game tonight. It's just the talent of this Netanya team. As we see right here, David 𝗬𝗏 just toying with this team, and here comes Tel Aviv, though.
Here's a 2-on-1, Janello with 𝗂𝗂𝗃. 𝗂𝗂𝗃 couldn't get the puck to settle down. Here's 𝗏 looking for his first goal of the year. He's hauled down, and Netanya brings it right back the other way. Kslouk intercepted that pass intended for 𝗬𝗃, and this one comes back down into the Tel Aviv zone. Saunders couldn't get it out, and there's a big hit by 𝗏 on 𝗪, and a penalty is about to be called. I think they're trying to get him for elbowing, I think might be the call. I didn't really see so much on that infraction. It looks like a clean hit from here. We'll see what the referee says. They're gonna call a charge. I think that is the right call, actually, Jacob.
Yeah, especially at this stage of the game. 10-goal game with 3 minutes to go. Just a little bit ago, we talked about how Michael 𝗪 has gotten picked on a little bit tonight. He's been a victim of a few big hits, and yet again, he went tumbling into the boards after that hard hit, which was worthy of a penalty from 𝗏. And now Netanya will have another 2 minutes of a man advantage to try to extend their lead to 11.
They'll let the young guys go to work. Kreimerman, Litterman, Aronovich, Sigalov, and the veteran Marr out there on the power play. This one's stolen away by Aronovich. Now it comes in front for Kreimerman, and a save by Kreiner.
Another really quality chance, and this is from their second power play unit tonight. You could call it that. And that's, again, they're creating good chances, really, really good passes from the corner. This team, with every single player on the team, they just know where the other is going to be, and it's really, really fun and special to watch.
This one hops out of the zone, and it's collected by 𝗂𝗂𝗃. As Janello breaking, finds him with a pass, but it couldn't settle down. Federer keeps it in the zone. He shoots one in a blocker, saved by 𝗬𝗏. 𝗂𝗂𝗃 swatting at that one, couldn't get back towards the goal. Intercepted at center ice by 𝗬𝗃. He stops on Kreimerman. Tel Aviv brings it in, at least for a second. This one's taken the other way. Kreimerman gave it to Aronovich. Here comes Guy Aronovich. Good move to get around 𝗂𝗂𝗃. Aronovich stops up in the circle. Tries to feed one back. It was broken up by Federer. Sigalov swatting that one from the point. 𝗬𝗃 behind the net. Curls away from pressure. Under a minute to go on the power play. Finds Janello breaking ahead with 𝗂𝗂𝗃. He's behind the defense, and he's stopped by 𝗬𝗏. Janello fishing for that puck after the good save by Daniel 𝗬𝗏, but boy, has he looked good tonight, even under limited pressure.
Absolutely. He's come up with a lot of big saves. We've seen 0 mistakes from him tonight. And with an offense in front of him like he has, that's all it takes. Just no mistakes, no cheap goals. And they're not going to get beat if that's the case.
I think if you're the Netanya coach, you really need to ask yourself who you're starting in the playoffs. Both Daniel 𝗬𝗏 and the other goaltender on this team, Ido Steinberg, I could have called him the backup, but he's really not. Both of them have equal 2.75 goals against averages coming into this one. Now 𝗬𝗏's will be a little bit lower after this game. Here he's going to be tested again. 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗆 gets past spekter, but a good play by spekter getting back. Now ahead it comes to 𝗪𝗺. He couldn't reach that pass, and 𝗬𝗃 there to break it up. Start either 𝗬𝗏 or Ido Steinberg in the playoffs, and that's definitely a storyline to watch as we cross under a minute to play in the third period. This one's fed ahead to Max Ribe out of the penalty box. He shoots one into the glove of 𝗬𝗏.
Another really solid stop from 𝗬𝗏 with that glove. That's what's really stood out to me tonight from him, is that gloved hand. He likes to use it, and he uses it well.
While we have a second, just let you know the upcoming schedule. Tomorrow, starting at 9:15 local time, Haifa will take on Jerusalem. That game with major playoff implications for Haifa. And then Bat Yam will have their final game of the season against the Holon Vipers. Then on Thursday at 8:45, it will be Netanya taking on Bat Yam. That game originally scheduled for last night, but postponed due to Zamboni issues here at One Ice. So all three of those games with major implications, with Bat Yam and Haifa battling for the final playoff spot, as there's another goal put in by Ori Kafri.
With only 14 seconds to go, that is the story of the night. This attack from Netanya is too good. The initial pass from Ilya spekter was unable to be put away, and Ori Kafri was there for the rebound.
Now a 13-2 lead for 𝗬𝗏 Netanya. An absolutely dominating performance tonight here against a short Tel Aviv bench, as the clock will run out. This game is over, and so is HC Tel Aviv's season. The defending champions walking away from this IEHL season with a 13-2 loss to the best team in the league, 𝗬𝗏 Netanya. They have one more game left, we mentioned, against Bat Yam, and then the focus shifts completely to the playoffs.
Absolutely, this team, usually you say you want to be hot going into the playoffs, and they've been hot all season. This moves them to 9-0. As you've seen with an example of tonight, this offense is so dangerous, and it all starts with David Levin. He's special, and he showed that tonight. They're going to be so hard to beat. Really hard-fought game from Tel Aviv, but there's just nothing they could do against this Netanya attack.
Two great games of hockey here at One Ice Arena, but the push for the playoff continues tomorrow. For my broadcast partner, Jacob Schlussel, I am Ben Baruch saying thank you so much for joining us here from Israel, and we'll see you tomorrow night, starting at 9:15 with Haifa and Jerusalem.
Tonight's IEHL broadcast is brought to you by Honky FPV Drone Video, Pro Edge's Skate Sharpen, Hockey Central Shop in Krefeld, Germany, Transport Regent, Canada's finest moving company for over 20 years, and 𝗏𝗏𝗺 Photography Store in Tel Aviv.